Hi, I'm Andy Glass with Glass Impressions. Today we're going to do our second GI Q&A. In preparation for this video, I asked you guys, the viewers, to submit questions on my YouTube channel and my Instagram feed. To get the formalities out of the way, if you would like to submit a question, please feel free to leave them on this video or keep an eye out for a third video on my YouTube channel and my Instagram feed. I have my little cheat sheet here. Let's get started. In no particular order, we'll start with Guillermo de la Pena. Hopefully I didn't screw that up too much. Hello Andy, have you ever used programs to optimize cut, or could you recommend one? Well, I actually have purchased a few of these cut optimizing programs in the past, and I find myself not using them because they're very detailed and I just don't need that. I develop all my projects within SketchUp, and I can break apart those projects, lay them on a sheet of plywood or a board within the program to switch around the parts and optimize the cut. So I would suggest Google SketchUp, not only for the 3D CAD and designing your projects, but also the cut optimization, and it's free. So thank you for the question. Cade861 on YouTube submits a question. How long have you been woodworking, and what is your favorite species of wood to work with and why? Cade, thank you for the question. I have answered the first question, how long have you been woodworking, in my first Q&A. I will link that right here. To answer your second question, what is your favorite species of wood to work with and why? I think that's a two-part question for me. On the painted side of the equation, MDF. I love how it machines and mills, and I love how it paints. It's easy to work with, it's affordable, and results are fantastic. Some are going to say MDF this, MDF that, it's not as sturdy, blah, 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 blah. Depending on how you design your projects and what it's being used for and how you do it, it's easily a suitable material to work with. On the raw wood side, or a non-painted or a finishing side, I got to go with walnut. Walnut's an absolute beautiful wood. You can get some different species of walnut, but I love it's open grain, so you can do a lot of different things with the pores, with dyes, grain filling, things like that. You can achieve a lot of different looks, and it's just a fantastic. So to recap, on one hand it's walnut, on the other hand it's MDF. So thank you for your question. It's Hannah Miller time, submits a question on Instagram. What is your favorite tool in the shop? Hannah Miller is my cousin. Thank you, Hannah, for submitting the question. My tool, my favorite tool is absolutely the table saw. The table saw is the workhorse of my shop. 99% of the projects go through the table saw at one point or another. I love it because how versatile it can be and what you can do with it, the operations you can do. I love the accessories you can buy for it, and I love the jigs you can make for it. So Hannah, thank you for the question. Workshop Attic on Instagram asks a question. How many fire extinguishers do you have in your shop? Thank you for the question, Brian. I have 2 fire extinguishers. One next to my pellet stove and one in the opposite corner underneath my drill press next to my main working area. J Sterling 312 on Instagram submits a question. When does the hashtag 100 golf map YouTube get released? Jonathan Sterling was my client for the golf map that I did for him. Jonathan, as you know, that's already released, and for everybody else, I will include a video link right there. Thank you for the question, Jonathan. Kelsey Jones submits a question on YouTube. Who are your favorite YouTube makers? Mine are Frank Howarth, Matthias Wandel, and Jimmy DiResta. Kelsey, I think I gotta agree with you. That may sound as a cop-out, but Frank, I love his camera work and his editing skills. Matthias, I love his problem solving and engineering skills. And Jimmy DiResta, his creativity and creative ways of doing things is absolutely fantastic. So thank you, Kelsey, for the question. Ohio State Buckeye Fans submits a question on Instagram. Is there a project you've always wanted to do but have been unable to do it yet for any reason? Ohio State Buckeye Fan, thank you for the question. My simple answer is a really nice jewelry box for my wife. I promised that to her a long time ago, probably prior when I didn't have the skills to do something worthwhile of doing, but that is on my list. And why? Because things just keep getting in the way, but that is definitely going to be in a future video. So thank you for the question. Mike Epoxy submits a question on YouTube. I'd like to know your personal strategy for growing your channel subscribers. Thank you for the question, Mike. I don't have a strategy. I do this part-time. This is not my full-time gig. I have a full-time job. I get in the shop when I can. I write articles on my website when I can. I generate plans when I have time. I submit social media content when I have the chance or when I'm in the shop and things like that. The only advice that I can give somebody that's just starting out or is doing it is content creators in the maker field are a dime a dozen these days. It's incredibly saturated, and in order for someone to be relevant, you need to have a valuable product. And the word valuable can mean a whole bunch of different things, but you need to give something to your viewers, something that they can take away. Whether that is a step-by-step tutorial on how to build a project, is it an entertaining video that is just there for the entertainment value, or are you giving tips and tricks throughout the video, or depending on what kind of video style you're doing. I don't watch any video that isn't worth my time. If it's not entertaining, I don't watch it. My favorite videos on YouTube are between a 7 and 10 minute video that shows a project, does not sit there and have someone rambling on about one itty little bitty step that just doesn't need to be rambled on about. So Mike, I don't have a strategy. I'm just putting out as best high quality content and as valuable content as I can when I can. So thank you for the question, Mike. KSFWG on YouTube submits a question. What was your favorite project, and can you show us pictures if it's not on video? Well, I touched base a little bit on this question in the GI Q&A number 1, and I selected the wine boxes, and I can link that video right up here. But since then, I did the top 100 golf map project for a client, and I absolutely fell in love with that project. I love how it incorporates traditional woodworking using the CNC, a whole bunch of different techniques and things, miter joints, rabbets, all that stuff, pre-finishing, and I did do a video on that, and I also link it right here as well. So KSFWG on YouTube, thank you for the question. One from Lance's Woodshop on YouTube. He asks, what is your strategy on pricing out commission work? I see you've done a few commission pieces lately for clients. Thanks for the question, Lance. Yes, I have done a few in the past. My strategy is when a client comes to me, I request them to have a picture or something that I can reference, not only to help them design and get a good vision of what they're wanting, but also I bring that and I bring it into SketchUp and I do something very rough, just to give me the idea on size, relationships of dimensions, and then also material. So when I design that project, I will break it down, I will estimate the amount of material I have, and then I will price out that material. So on the left-hand side, I have my material price and what it's going to cost me, and then I look at the project and say, okay, how long is that going to take me to build this project? For instance, a project, 35 hours. Okay, if I think it's going to take me 35 hours, I will times that by my labor rate, or what I think my time is worth to me, and then I will combine those numbers, and then I will have a number. I will take that and I will add just a little bit on top of that to help both sides of the equation in case there's a misstep there, or it takes me a little longer, or if there's a little bit more material needed. I'd much rather give a customer a higher price and come in lower than give them a lower price and come in a bit higher. That's always the best way to go. So Lance, I appreciate the question. Walski3112 submits a question on Instagram. Have you ever had a bad injury while woodworking? Full disclosure, that is my sister asking that question. Thank you for the question, sis. I really haven't had a bad injury where I've lost fingers or had to go to the hospital for stitches or anything like that. Typical woodworking nicks and dings on your hands and injuries like that where you can get anywhere from automotive injuries or whatever. I did shoot a brad nail into my finger one time as I was holding and applying pressure to a project. I did pull that out and applied some super glue to stop the bleeding, and that was that. A few weeks ago I had a 12-foot long board, 12 inches wide of poplar leaning up against my shop over there, and just like my arm, I had moved something and it fell down and hit me in the back of the head as I was walking away. But it was a grazing blow on my head, so it didn't hit my head, but it hit my shoulder pretty good. Bruised it up, but if it would have knocked me right in the head, that would have definitely been probably a hospital visit. So I've learned from that a little bit, tried to prop things in better locations, be more wary of where I'm moving material. So Walski3112, thank you for the question. Michael Mitchell on YouTube submits a question. How long did it take you to get your shop like you wanted it? Thank you for the question, Michael. Man, we could spend a whole episode on this question alone. A direct answer is it's taken me 2 years to get the shop where it is right now. That's new tools coming in, organizing, all that. Am I happy with the shop? Yes. Could it be better? Absolutely. I think all woodworking shops are always evolving. They're always wanting to get better. There's 3 things that I really like in my shop that I strive every single day to do. One is know where my tools are, have them in a spot where I can grab them, use them, and put them back. There's no downtime searching for tools. 2, I like a clean shop. If I know where a tool is at and there's nothing in my way, I don't have to put something else away to use a tool, that just makes everything better. It helps my mood out immensely. 3, I love continuous improvement. From a large organizational project to building a cabinet or something like that, to simple as putting a little shelf above my joiner for my joiner blocks or grippers. That alone just adds to everything I just previously said. It helps my mood, I know where my push blocks are, and I don't have to go searching for them. But to add to this question, the Glass Impression Workshop could have some big news here in the future that is definitely going to change some things. But I need some things to come together before I can tell you. So stick around for that. Michael, thank you for the question. Sir Power Sedan on YouTube submits a question. Will you ever do a shop tour? Thank you for the question. Yes, I will do a shop tour. There's been just little things here and there that have been delaying that, getting a new tool or different organizational projects that have set me back. Currently right now, the shop is in pretty good organizational order. I do have a large picture frame bookcase that is in the shop taking up a lot of room that I'm hopefully going to get out here in the next week or so. I do have a video on that, but somewhere right after that, Sir Power Sedan, I will have a pretty lengthy shop tour explaining each section of my workshop. So thank you for the question. The last question comes from Kim Stewart Gregory on YouTube. What is your preferred type of finish for the majority of your projects? And do you have a favorite finishing technique you tend to stick to after trial and error? Thank you for the question, Kim. Kind of a 2-part question again for me. If I'm sitting down and finishing a project, I will do diluted polyurethane with mineral spirits, and I will start out with probably 75% mineral spirits to 25% polyurethane. And as I build the coats up, I will switch those ratios. So I will have more polyurethane and less mineral spirits. On the other hand, if it's a quick little project, I absolutely love spray on lacquer. It dries fast, it gets me through the finishing step, and I can start making dust again in my shop. Thank you for the question, Kim. Well, thanks for sticking to the end. Hopefully you guys got a little more insight on me, Andy Glass, and what I do here at Glass Impressions. If you would like to submit a question for the Glass Impressions Q&A number 3, please leave them below or keep an eye out on YouTube and Instagram for when I ask for questions again. If you guys enjoyed this video, please smash the like button, share, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.